So, okay, let me share my screen. Hope you're able to see my screen, right? Before we start, any questions? You're able to hear me, right?
Yes, Sudhakar garu, we can hear
Okay,
you.
okay, fine. Thank you so much. Yeah. So if you don't have any questions, then we'll start up. So in last session, we started discussing about the OTC process, right? Order to cash process. That means entire sales cycle. So let me execute that. Okay, once again, like from end to end process, I'll show you. Last time, like we had some issues. So I hope like those issues are got resolved now. So let me execute the complete cycle. Then we'll get into different topic. Okay, so what is the first step in sales process? Okay, so first of all, like when you're discussing about the sales cycle, right? So we'll run different transactions, right? So what is the first transaction we need to create? Any one of you? So let it be interactive session. Like so, we'll go on by. Anyway, we have discussed about this last time, right? So I'll go with the. I'll I'll take you through entire process once again, just to recap. Okay, what is the first transaction we need to create? Any one of you? Inquiry, right? Inquiry. First, we'll create inquiry with a sales document type IN with reference to inquiry. What is the next transaction? With reference to inquiry, what we will be creating? Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Quantity.
Quotation only. So it's not it's a quotation, right? So yeah. So with reference to inquiry, we'll be creating quotation. The document type which you use for the quotation is QT.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then
I think order.
Yeah. So then we'll create the order. Okay. With reference to order, we'll be creating the order. So it's a sales document type which you use for order is war. Then we'll be doing the delivery. Document type which you use for delivery is LF. As part of delivery, we'll be doing the picking, picking and PJ. So first we'll do the picking, packing. Okay. Then PJ. PJ is nothing but a post goods issue. Post goods issue. It's a part of delivery only. Then so we'll be doing the billing. So the document type which you use for billing is, you have to just remember this, like we'll understand what is the use of the document types, right? First of all, we'll create the inquiry. Okay, what is the transaction code to create the inquiry? So the path we already seen that. So VA11 is a transaction code where we'll be using this transaction code to create the inquiry. The sales document type for inquiry is IN. I'm entering my sales area with TG01, T1, and T1. Right. So I'm just getting into inquiry creation screen. Enter the customer number. So I'm just entering on customer number here. Enter like enter purchase or PO number. It's a free text. You can enter anything. Enter PO date. So usually it will be current date. You can enter any date, but usually like it will be current date. Okay. So then we have Safari. I'm entering my material. So I'm placing the order for 10 pieces, 10 quantity. I'm just inquiring about 10 quantity. Okay, so we have discussed about some observations while creating any sales document, right? So that we already discussed. I'm just going to create the inquiry now. Before saving any sales document, just check the incompletion log. So document is complete. So nothing to be entered manually now. So I just entered sold to party and material. So it is getting determined automatically, all the details, because the details will be coming from customer master data and material master data. If you get some incompletion, right? So you should understand that you are missing something in master data. So the data will be missing in customer master data or material master data. It can be anything, right? So now I'm going to save the inquiry. I'll take the inquiry number. So now I'm going to create the quotation, right? With reference to inquiry, I'm going to create inquiry quotation. So VA21 is the transaction code to create a quotation. The sales document type which you use for quotation is QT. Create with reference. We can create standalone quotation directly without taking reference also. But here in this scenario, I'm creating quotation with reference to inquiry. but it is not mandatory. Like, so the moment once I click on copy button, so all the details from inquiry to quotation will be copied, right? So I got the Safari and enter PO, only PO number and PO date. So it has to be entered manually. Okay. And as I said before, quotation is a legal agreement between the company and customer, right? So it, like, it is recommended to have the validity periods. So valid from today, you can say valid till 1 month. Right? I'll keep it till next month. Okay, so you can see the other observations. So check the incompletion log. My document is complete. So I'm just saving quotation. Quotation got saved. I'll take the quotation number now. So now I'm going to create the order with reference to quotation. So VA01 is my order transaction code. The document type which you use for order is OR. So we can create order directly without reference, but here we have a quotation. I want to create the order with reference to quotation. In this case, create with reference. Enter the quotation number. So all the details from quotation will be copied into the sales order. Right. So enter PO number, any number, it's a free text. Enter PO date. Right. So here all the details has been copied. You can observe other whatever the observations we have discussed last session, right? So you can see all those things. Check the incompletion log. Okay, so save the order. I got the order number. So I'll take, so now order has been saved. So what is the next transaction we create? We created the sales documents like inquiry, quotation, and order we have created. So now I need to create the delivery. The transaction code which I use for delivery is VL01. This also we have discussed last. VL01. So enter the shipping point, from which shipping point you want to make the delivery. So TG01, which will be there in the sales order. In sales order, whatever the shipping point we have, right? That has to be entered. Okay, so press enter. Now I'm getting into delivery creation screen. Go to picking tab. Okay, so enter store location, from which store location you want to make the delivery, or you want to pick up the material. Enter picked quantity. So basically how much quantity you're delivering, the same quantity we need to pick it up, right? I'm delivering 10 quantity, but I'm picking 20 quantity. So that is not the case, right? You should not be picking more than what we are delivering to the customer. Let's say my customer is ordered for 10 quantity, but I'm going to store location or warehouse, I'm picking up 20 quantity. It is not at all good practice. So there will be some fraud will happen if you're picking more quantity what you are delivering to the customer. Okay, so before saving the delivery, let me check the stock. What is the stock is available? MMB is a transaction code for checking the stock, right? Stock overview. So let me enter my material. Safari. Plant is TG01 and store location is TG01. Let me execute this. So we have currently available 1490 pieces available. Okay. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to save the delivery. So the moment once you save the delivery, everybody will expect that the stock need to be reduced because we are delivering the 10 quantity to the customer, right? But so we'll see whether it will reduce the quantity or not. I'm saving the delivery here. Okay, so the moment once I save, I'm just refreshing the screen. Still, it is showing 1490 because so until unless we do the post goods issue, until unless we complete the post goods issue, stock will not get updated. Because of PGI only, stock will get updated. Okay, delivery process will not be completed until unless we do the post goods issue. Okay, how to do the post goods issue? Go to change mode of delivery. Go to change mode of delivery. Enter your delivery number. And then click on post goods issue button. So it is an integration point between SD, MM, and FI point. Okay, it is integration between SD, MM, and FI. So why? Because we are getting the delivery in SD module, but inventory is going to get updated in MM module, and some accounting documents are getting posted because my cost of goods sold account, my cost of goods and inventory accounts are getting, my cost of goods sold account is getting reduced. Sorry, cost of goods sold account is getting updated. My inventory is getting reduced, right? So that means valuation is need to be reduced from my plant, because so how it will be reduced? So the moment once I click on the PCA button, so it will be triggered some accounting GL account determination. So some accounting documents will be generated. Okay, so mainly the accounting documents are like cost of goods sold account will be debited and inventory account will be created. So this account will be get updated when the moment once you click on the PCA. Okay, so I'm clicking on PCA. Okay, so it's very important that we should remember the effects of PCA. I told you last session also to maintain at least 5 to 6 post goods issue effects, PCA effects. Okay, now PCA is completed. Let me check. Let me check the stock now. So the moment once I refresh it, stock became 1480. That means so in this store location TG01 under this plan we have 1480 stock. 1480 stock is available because we made before it was 1490. Now we completed the post goods issue. Okay, so then the stock is getting updated. Here itself we saw PJ effects, right? Inventory is getting updated, and also okay, some accounting documents are generated. If someone asks you what are the accounting documents will be generated, means the answer should be cost of goods sold account, CGS accounts. People will say CGS. That means cost of goods sold account will be debited and inventory account will be created. Right. So now stock is also, we observed that like stock is getting updated. Last time, we are getting some null, some exceptional error. So we did some resolution for that. We resolved that. So now stock is getting updated. Okay, now I'm going to create the billing document. VF01 is a transaction code where we'll be creating the billing document. Right, enter the delivery number. So the moment once we whenever we are creating the billing document with reference to delivery, those billing documents will be called as a delivery related billing. Okay, so it will be called as a delivery related billing. Okay, I have entered the delivery number here. Press enter. Okay, so F2 invoice. So F2 is nothing but a billing document for 1 crore 95 lakhs rupees. We are going to create the billing document. Okay, so save it. So the moment once you save it, normally it has to be posted into accounting. Okay, that is customer account will be debited to revenue account. Okay, that accounting need to be generated because we don't have the integration point as of now. We have separate session for account determination, how the accounting documents will get posted the moment once you save the billing document. So that will be discussed later. As of now, I'm not looking into the account determination, accounting point of view. It is not posted yet. Okay, so accounting documents are not generated yet, but it has to be generated because we need to do some configuration settings for that also. That we'll see discuss later. As of now, my aim is to complete the order to cash cycle. So we have just created the invoice. So it is not posted into accounting. That should be fine for me. In SD module, saving the document is very important as of now. Billing document is saving is important, but then we'll discuss about the account, how the accounting documents will be generated. So that we'll discuss later. As of now, we created inquiry. With reference to inquiry, I have created the quotation. With reference to quotation, I have created the order. With reference to order, I have created the delivery, and we did the picking and PJ. Then we created the billing document also. Okay, so end-to-end process has been completed now. So I was discussing about the document flow also, right? So document flow is like it will show preceding documents as well as subsequent documents associated with the particular order or sales order, any transaction. For example, so document flow can be seen any change mode or any display mode of any document. For example, I'll go to VA02. VA02 is the change mode of order, or you can go to VA03, or we can go to change mode of inquiry, change mode of delivery, change mode of billing document, change mode of quotation. Any transaction in the sales cycle, whatever we have discussed, you can go to change mode or display mode. There you can see the document flow here. There you can see document flow button here. If I can click on this, it will show entire flow. So here it is inquiry. If you want to get into inquiry, select this line and go to display document. It will show you entire document. Again, it will show you the complete document. What is the inquiry, right? So the same way you can get into quotation, you can get into the order, you can get into delivery, any change mode or any display mode of any document. You can get into that and you can see the entire flow. So for inquiry, we have all the subsequent documents which are created. For order, delivery, and the invoice are subsequent documents. The preceding documents are quotation and inquiry for the order, right? So entire document flow can be visible, or entire flow can be seen in the document flow button. right? This is the one important thing you need to be remembered, right? This is a complete cycle. So, and also we are discussing about the other master data last session, right? So that is customer metal information record. So what is customer metal information record? It is a in customer metal information record, we will be maintaining the customer name towards the material. Okay, different customers will call with the different names, right? So we need to make a record of that. Okay, we already maintain the customer metal information record. So let me check that again in sales order by giving the customer metal name VJ01. I'm going to create the order. Enter the material. Your number is not mandatory actually, but still we can enter. So I don't know the original material name. What I'll do is enter the quantity, enter the customer material name. So what is the customer material name we have entered? Tata SUV. The moment once I enter the customer material number here, automatically determines the original name of the material. Let me check here. It's not possible to determine the material number. Let me check why. I'll go back to master data. Why it is not determining the original material? Just that I want to see sales and distribution, master data, agreement, customer material information record, create. VD51 is the transaction code for this customer, for this material, for this sales organization, for this distribution channel. I think we don't have the any master data maintained. For Safari, I'll call it as a Tata SUV. That means whenever this customer, only this customer places the order for Tata SUV, it will determine the main material Safari. Right? Then save it. Okay, so now I'll go to VA01. I'll come back again just to refresh the screen. Sorry. We should enter the. So let me enter here. So I'll not enter the main item name. So I'll enter the customer number, material number, nothing but my customer material name. So I'll enter Safari. So now automatically system, we need to enter the Tata SUV, right? Tata SUV is a customer name. Tata SUV. So the moment once I enter the Tata SUV here, system automatically determines the original material. Let me see here. See here, it is coming now. So this is called as a customer metal information record. So in the same way, okay, so if you remember last time we discussed about the plan determination, right? What is the search criteria for the plan determination? System will search for the plan first in customer metal information record, then it will go to the customer master data, then it will go for metal master data. Otherwise, we have to enter it now. Right. So the question here is, so where do you maintain the plant and custom metal information record? Right. So let me get inside of this. I'll go to change mode, which is already maintained, right? I'll go to change mode of customer metal information, VD52. Okay, enter your customer details and sales organization and material. Go to execute button. See here for material number is Safari and customer material name, original customer material name. Sorry, this is a material number, original material name. This is a customer specific name, Tata SUV. Okay, so select this line. If I go to details here, we have a plant here. If I enter the plant here, that plant will be having more priority than any other plants. Right? So this is about the customer metal information record. Right. So now we have discussed about the complete cycle, and we have discussed about the customer metal information record also. Right. So how it works. So with this, we have completed the master data as well as transactional data. So we saw end-to-end cycle. So now we are going to see the sales document structures, which is very, very important for newcomers, right? Who are wanted to learn SAP. So the real work starts from here. Configuration steps will start from this point. Anyway, we have configured the enterprise structure. That is fine. That is the organizational units. But coming to core SD module, right? So we are going to discuss the topic called document structures. The real SAP work starts from here. So settings. Okay, if I change some settings, what will happen? Okay, what are the important settings that we will be discussing? Before I start sales document structures. Sales document structure. So any questions in the sales cycle? Any one of you, if you are getting any error, let me know. Like if you are, I'll try to resolve those issues if you're okay. Fine. So we are going to discuss about the sales document structures. What are the sales documents we have here? The sales document is inquiry, quotation, and order. So these are all like sales documents only. And this is delivery document, and this is a billing document. So now we are discussing about the sales document structures, structure of the sales document. Okay, so each sales document in SAP or each transaction in SAP will be saved as a document, if you remember, right? So that is the reason I'm calling. So these three sales document, three scenarios or three transactions will be called as sales documents. Okay, so each document will be having one structure. Okay, so the sales document will be having one structure, that is header data. Then we'll have item data, and last one will have schedule line data. Okay, so just try to remember, each sales document in SAP has been divided into three parts. One is header data, item data, and schedule line data. So what is header data? The data which is applicable for entire document. Okay, the data which is applicable for entire document will be called as a header data. Okay, so if you're writing an exam, okay, one exam you are writing. So in that exam, so your name, your number, unique number, identification number, your which which subject or what is the topic. So this is like a header. That header is applicable for entire document, right? So like the same way, in while creating any sales document, we are entering customer number, sales organization, distribution channel, division. That is like PO number, PO date. These are all headers. Okay, so we can have multiple items in a sales order, but header will be same. I'm going to Walmart, so I'll buy so many products. So my name is like same for all the products. My phone number will be same for all numbers. My membership card will be same for all the items in the sales, like in my invoice. So these details will be called as a header data, header information, right? So in sales order also, while getting sales order, customer number, his customer details, PO number, PO date, all these are all header data. This header data, okay, so this header data will be, okay, this header data will be controlled by sales document type. Just remember that. So if you see here, like we already know different types of sales document types which we discussed till now. Like we know IN, QT, OR. These are the sales document types. So these sales document types will control the header data. That means if I do some settings in the sales document types, it will impact my header data. All the header data will be controlled by sales document types. In IN, we'll have keys, we'll have some settings. If I do some settings inside IN, that means header data in the inquiry will get affected. Same way, if I do some settings in order level, sales document type OR, right? So system, like, order will behave differently, or like if I do some changes, okay, so it will impact my sales document header data, right? So just remember that header data is the data which is applicable for entire document. Okay, if I take this box, all these entire, so one box is the entire document. Okay, so that means in header level, the data which is applicable for entire document, the header level data will be controlled by sales document types. The header level data will be controlled by sales document types, right? So now coming to item data. So example I told you, right? Sold to party number, like PO number, PO date. Okay, so these are all like in header information of the sales order. Okay, so the same way, item data. So any guesses? What do you mean by item data here? Any guesses? Any one of you? If I go to Walmart, like my phone number, my name, my membership card number, date, okay, PO number, all these are all header data. What do you mean by item data here? Guess anything, like you can give blind, like anything, any answer. Like I'm expecting something from your side at least. So what do you mean by item data? So just guess it.
The item we buy.
Exactly. That means like material number, material one. Okay, so let's say we can have multiple items, right? We can have multiple line items, right? So M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, right? The data which is applicable for particular item, okay, will be called as a item data. You can have a number of items, like almost like in a single order, we can have 200, 225. Okay, we can add, like, you can place the order for like 200 items at a time. That means number of line items, number of items we are placing the order. I'm going to buy oil, I'm going to buy chicken, I'm going to buy rice. Okay, so in single invoice, we'll have multiple items, but each and every item will have individual price. You cannot have the same price for all the items, right? I'll buy avocado, so like that will be different price. If I go for apples, the price of the apple will be different price, right? So each and every item will be having different prices. Okay, so the data which is applicable for individual item. Okay, so material number, quantity which you are ordering, price of the material, shipping point, planned, so route. Okay, so etc. So there are many fields which will be control, which will be having the item. The data which is applicable for individual item will be called as item data. The data which is applicable for entire document will be called as a header data. Header data will be controlled by sales document type. The same way, this item data, the data which is specific to particular item. So this M1, this specific item. Okay, specific item. Okay, so this data, whatever, M1, I'm placing the order for 10 quantity. The price of the M1 is $100, and I'm delivering from store location one, from plant. Okay, it's XYZ plant, from route, different route. Okay, so discounts. Okay, anything which is specific to particular item will be called as item data. Okay, each and every item will be having its own data. So that is the reason I'm calling it as item data. This item data will be controlled by item category. How sales document header data will be controlled by sales document types. The same way, okay, so this item data will be controlled by item category. What is item category? Means the data, okay, which is specific to particular item will be controlled by item category. So what are the different item categories we have seen last session? What is the item category for the inquiry? I told you as an observation, right?
FERT.
FERT is a material type. So inquiry, the material type. The item category for the inquiry is AFN. For quotation, it is AZN, and order it is TAN, right? So these are all the item categories. So this, whatever the item data we have, so this item data will be controlled by item category. If I do some changes in item category settings, if I go to AZN or if I go to TAN, item category, if I do some changes, my item data will get impacted. The data in my item level will get impacted. Price may not come, price will come more, discounts may not be coming. So there will be some issue with the item category, right? So just try to understand the data which is applicable for entire document will be called as a header data, which will be controlled by sales document. The data which is specific to particular item will be called as item data, which will be controlled by item category, right? So for example, the item categories are AFN, AZN, and TAN. Right? So this is about the item data. So just try to, you also remember that. So the header data will be controlled by sales document type, and so item data will be controlled by item category. Now coming to the schedule line data, which is very important. Okay, the schedule line data. So what is schedule line data? What do you mean by schedule lines? We discussed in last session, right? What is the meaning of schedule lines? It contains the delivery dates and delivery quantity, or delivery dates and confirmed quantity, right? So each and every item, for example, the M1 material, we are placed the order for 20 quantity. So this M1 material will be having different delivery dates. Today I'll be delivering 10 quantity, and tomorrow I'm delivering the remaining 20 quantity, right? So the data which is specific to delivery dates and delivery quantity or confirmed quantity will be controlled by schedule line data, right? So the data, I mean, if you see here, you can observe here one header. There will be only one header per a document. One header can have multiple line items. That means we can have a number of items with the different characteristics. The same way, schedule lines, we can have multiple line items under this item category. Okay, so in single item, we can have multiple schedule lines. So we'll be delivering few quantity today and remaining will be delivering or after 2 days, right? That is the reason the schedule line data will talks more about delivery dates, delivery quantity and confirmed quantity. Delivery date, schedule, delivery quantity and confirmed quantity, right? So that will be controlled by schedule line data. Okay, so that the data which is specific to delivery dates and delivery quantity or confirmed quantity, it will be called as a schedule line data, and schedule line data will be controlled by schedule line category. Schedule line category. Schedule line category will be controlled by schedule line category. So what are the different schedule line categories we discussed? AT for inquiry, BN for quotation, and OR for order, right? So these are the schedule line categories. All right. So now we'll get into settings of sales document types. Okay, we are just discussing that, header data will be controlled by sales document type. How this header data will be controlled by sales document type, that we'll be discussing. Right. So now I'm getting into sales document controlling elements or delivery document, sales document type, controlling elements, whatever it is. So I'll go back to easy access so that it will be easy for you to remember. Logistics. So which comes under logistics, sales and distribution. Sorry. So no. So we need to get into sales document type settings, right? So it is a configuration. Go to SPRO, IMG. Then we have sales and distribution. Okay, so then we have sales. Here I can find. Sorry, sales. Sales document. Yeah, sales documents. Sales document header data. Here you can see define sales document types. The transaction code which we reach, the transaction code which we use for sales document types is VOV8. Any sales document, VOV8 is the transaction code. So if I go to, we are in VOV8, here you can see all kinds of sales document types. We need OR. OR is my sales document. Or you can select IN and QT also, like inquiry and quotation sales document types also. IN is the inquiry, quotation for QT. Okay, you can select the details. You can see settings. If you see here, there are so many settings are available here for inquiry. The same way, we'll have the settings for quotation also. Almost everything is similar. We need to understand different options here. Okay, if you see here order, we have many settings. We'll see for order. Okay, so how the settings will work each and every setting. Right. So here the sales document type which I'm taking as a reference, you can take anything, any sales document. Till now we have discussed inquiry, quotation, and order. So in future we'll be discussing about the different sales document types also. Okay, I'm taking the reference of sales document type OR. If at all, if you want to create new sales document also, we can create. Just select this and click on copy button so that we can create our own sales document type also. Okay, here I'm not going to create anything, our sales document, but we'll see the importance of each and every setting here. Right. So we are in sales document type. Okay, so now sales document category. So this talks about which document it is. Okay, we have inquiry, we have quotation, we have in future we'll be discussing how the system will understand that whether it is an inquiry, whether it is a quotation, whether it is an order, or whether it is a delivery or billing document. How the system will, we know that by seeing this war, and we can see the description, then we'll get a conclusion that so we are going to create the order by using war. But how the system will understand whether it is a order or delivery, because system will not read the data, right? So, but it has to be programmatically, we need to provide the solution. So, need to provide the solution to recognize which sales document or which billing document, which delivery document it is. So, document category is a field where we can use to differentiate the different types of documents. Okay, here if you see here, C means system understand that okay, it is an order. Okay, system will understand that it is an order. If I go to C here, C means order. A means it should be inquiry. B means it should be quotation. So let me show you that also. I'll go back to the quotation here. You see here B. sales document category is B. That means system understand that, okay, so this is a sales document, but it is belongs to quotation. Okay, so now we'll go to inquiry also. If you see inquiry, the sales document category is A. That means it is an inquiry. Nothing wrong in that. Okay, so based on what I'm trying to tell here is, okay, so based on the sales document category, system will understand that whether it is an inquiry, quotation, order, or any type of sales document or any type of document. Okay, so other than ABC, we have other sales document categories also that we'll be discussing in future one by one. Inquiry, quotation, order. We'll be discussing about the returns, credit memo, credit with order without charge. Okay, credit memo or debit memo. Okay, so these points we have the sales document type settings. Right, sales document category is C. That means system understand that it's the order. So now indicator. Indicator is subcategory of the sales document category. Okay, for example, there is a document called RK. We'll be discussing about this later again. See here, indicator D. So it's a subcategory of the sales document category. So D means system understand that, okay, this sales document category, but belongs to indicator. So it belongs to invoice correction request. D means invoice correction request. Right, now we understood about the sales document category, which differentiates the different types of documents. Right, so if you see here, indicator D, invoice correction request. Okay, so anyway, we'll be discussing about the RK later. Okay, so so now we're just discussing about the settings. So just try to understand that sales document category, which differentiate each document. The indicator is subcategory of the sales document category. And sales document block. So we are block. If you want to block the sales document at a header level, we can use this one, header settings. Okay, let's say I'll keep this sales document is blocked. Okay, so now I'm going to save it. If I try to create the order, system will not allow because in backend we kept the sales document block. When you're practicing, don't change the settings. Okay, so it will be very difficult again to trace it out like wait. Even whatever I'm updating here in that, right? So don't update your own sales document block. If I keep X here, right? System will not allow you to create the order itself. Okay, so let me show you that. If I go to VA01, if I try to create the order, so system will show you message immediately saying that the order has been blocked. See here, the order type OR has been blocked. But I just wanted to understand why we need to have this setting. What is the reason for having this sales document block? Why we need to block the order? What is the reason? What could be the reason? Like why why we have such thing? Sales document. Why do you want to block the order? In which case we'll block the order? Just find it out. Okay, now internal number ranges and external number ranges. We already know that what is internal number range and external number ranges. So system generated, whenever I create the order with sales document type OR, system generated numbers. Okay, external number ranges are the number ranges which is provided by user manually. Okay, if I enter both, then system will consider the internal number ranges. Okay, so here now item number increment. Item number increment we have item number item numbers 10 and sub item number increment we have 1. Right, so whenever I create the order, I'm going to create the order. So the moment once I enter the line item, right? So material number. So automatically the line item number will be determining as a 10. getting saved. Once again. Yeah, so let me create the order now. So then you'll understand what. Okay, so enter the customer number. You see here, the moment once I enter material, press enter, system will be taking the item number by default 10. Okay, so if you see here, item number is coming 10. Okay, so now if I enter the next item, okay, so second item I'm entering again, any other item, okay, any existing item you can enter, or you can enter any other materials, whatever you have in your plant. So I don't have a second material, that is the reason I'm entering the same material again and again. So this item number is coming 20. So why it is coming 20, 30, 40, like, incremental with the 10 because of this setting. So whatever the setting we are discussing, right? Item number increment 10 we are getting here. Okay, item number increment is 10 is coming here. Okay, I mean we have entered here 10. So that is the reason we are getting the item number increment for each and every item is 10 here. 10, 20, 30, 40. But what is the business reason behind that? Why we need to have the gap between one item to another item? Any idea? Why do we need to have the gap between one item to another item? Because
You can,
sorry, yeah, go
because
ahead.
you have a subsidiary items, or you might have something related to the main item, so you can put them under the same code related to them.
Exactly. So that means in future, like after saving the order, after 2 days, I want to add one more item, which is belongs to line item 10. In this case, what I'll do is I'll go to item number 11 manually. I can enter. I enter the other subsidiary materials, whatever is said. So I can enter, and it will go and sits after the 10 line item 10.
And also we block the sales order when we know the customer's credit is not good, or he's
Exactly.
having some issues with the payments, and we come to know that his bank has
Exactly. So when the
oh
customer
have
exceeds the credit limit, right, we can block the order. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So one reason. So I'm just enter the line item number 11 manually and enter the second item. So it is going and sitting after the 10th item. So this is the importance of line item number increment. So you can enter, you can change it to 5 also. So if I enter 5, the line item number increment will be 5 only. So 5, 10, 15, something like that. And sub item number increment. Okay, so there is a separate concept called BOM, bill of materials. So there we'll discuss more about sub item, but just to give you overview. Okay, what is sub item here is, let's say we have computer. Under computer we have like sub items like, okay, sub items like, so monitor or CPU,
And the
keyboard.
keyboard and the
Exactly.
mouse,
Exactly.
camera,
Yeah.
headphones, all these are called the
sub items, right? So this is computer will be called as a header item. Okay, so all components will be called as a sub items. Okay, so in this case, what is the sub item number increment? So we have the header item number increment. So what is a sub item number increment? So it will be like, if I have 11, then it will be second item will be 12, 13, 14 something. Okay, so how we are going to control the sub item number increment? So that can be controlled from sub item number increment field here. So this will be used to control the normal item. So sub items number increment will be controlled by sub item number increment. Here 1 here by default. So that means it will be like 11, 12, 13, 14, something like that. Right now we understood about the say sales document category, and indicator subcategory of the sales document category, and sales document block, which will block the entire document. Item number internal number ranges and external number ranges. Internal number ranges are sales order numbers. Okay, we have 01, like 01 means like we can see the whatever the number range is defined for 01, right, that we can see. And external number ranges, user can enter his own number. Item number increment is 10 and sub item number increment is 1. Right, now reference mandatory. So whenever I create the order, it is not mandatory that to create the order always with reference to quotation. We can create the standalone order also, right? Let me show you that. It's taking time. Okay, so let me I'm just trying to create the order. Okay, I'm trying to create the order. So that means like I'm able to create the order directly without taking the reference of quotation. Okay, it is not mandatory. Okay, so if you want to create with reference to quotation, then there is a reference create reference button. We need to create the create the reference and enter the quotation number there. So that we saw that, right? So now the business requirement is, okay, you want to create the order with reference to quotation always. Without quotation, system should not allow to create the order. So that will be controlled from reference mandatory here. So I'm in order sales document type OR. So my business requirement is I want to create the order always with reference to quotation. Here, what I can do is I can select the reference mandatory. Okay, so because it is order, I wanted to create always with reference to quotation. So let me select that option. Here we have created with reference, right? Here we are entering manually, but it is not mandatory before. Now business wanted to make it as a mandatory entry. Without reference to quotation, system should not allow us to create the order. So then that that setting we are going to see now. Okay, so here you see here no reference is required. That means currently it is blank. Okay, if you see here currently it is blank with this field. So now we are in order. So I want to create the order with reference to quotation. Create with reference to quotation. Just select this entry, then save it. So this is a customizing. I'm customizing according to my business requirement. My business requirement is, so you want to create the order always with reference to quotation, and it is a mandatory entry. If you don't enter the quotation number, system should not allow us to create the order itself. Okay, I'm just saving this setting. Let's see how it works. Okay, so now I'll go back and create the order. Okay, so press enter. So now system will not allow me to create the order without quotation. See, it is asking for entering the quotation. Right? So if I enter the quotation, then only system will allow me to get inside of the order. Before it was not coming. So I used to select it manually, but it is like, it is coming automatically. I did not select this reference with create with reference button here. Okay. So without entering the quotation, system will not allow us to create the order. Now my requirement is, so any one of you can give answer. My requirement is I want to create the quotation. I want to create the quotation always with reference to inquiry. Then what should I do now? I want to create the quotation with reference to inquiry. That means whenever I create the quotation, okay, if I go to VA21 transaction code, system should ask me for inquiry number. For that, what should I do now? What should I do? I want to create the quotation always with reference to inquiry. What should I do now? So let me open these settings now. So just read the settings one by one. I wanted to create the quotation with reference to inquiry. What should I do now? Which setting I need to select? Which option I need to select here?
A.
A. So where like okay. Any other? A is correct, Andy. A is correct, but this is not the right place.
Oh.
Okay, A is correct, but here I have selected the sales document type as OR. So, but I want to make the mandatory for quotation.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what should I? Where should I keep that setting? So I'm in sales document type settings of OR, but I want to keep the setting for quotation, right? So what should I do now? I need to go to the QT settings, sales document type QT. There we need to keep reference mandatory as mandatory A. So here, we are in RK. This here, I'm into here, I'm in quotation QT, right? Here, what I need to do is I need to select the option A, reference mandatory. Reference with reference to inquiry. So for quotation, inquiry is mandatory now. Then save it. Okay, let me create the quotation now. VA21. Why it's getting slow? I'm just restarting my UI. Okay, so let me go to VA21. Enter QT, TG01, T1, and T1. So the moment once I enter, system will ask for inquiry number, right? Because we kept the with reference to so order with reference to inquiry or quotation with reference to inquiry. So because of that setting. So the importance of reference mandatory is if you want to create any document, like if you want to keep any other document as a mandatory, then we can use that setting. We go with reference mandatory setting. Okay, so let me select the QT. Usually here itself, I'm selecting everything. So we can go one by one also. QT. I'm just comparing everything, like each and everything. If I go to details here. It is inquiry. We have a reference mandatory. I'll make it as a blank. So now it is not. So as per standard, it is not a mandatory. But if there is any requirement comes from business, you can customize this. Okay, this is one of the important field. Sometimes they'll ask you in interviews also how to make the reference of mandatory for any sales documents. So we can use this field. And check division. Okay, so actually, check division. Where do you maintain the division? So we'll have, while creating the order, we'll enter the division, right? So if there is a division, like, there will be two types of division in sales order. Okay, whenever I create the order, okay, we'll have the division at the header level. One more division will be coming from the item level division. Okay, if there is any difference between header division and item division, that means in material master data will have different division. While creating the sales order, there is a different division. In this case, how the system will respond, that will be controlled from check division field. Okay, so if you see here, no dialog means system will not show you error message. If it is dialog means system will give you warning message, and if it is error message means system will not allow you to create the order itself. There is any difference between header division and item division. Header division in this is whenever I create any sales document, right, I'll enter my sales area. So in that sales area, division will be there. So there is a header level. Okay, so but there will be division in metal master data also. Okay, the both are different. Then how the system will respond, that will be controlled from check division. Checking the division, whether it is same or not at the header level and item level. Okay, if it is not same, how the system will respond, that will be controlled from here. Okay, here we have another checkbox, item division. If I activate the checkbox item division, that means so division will always copied from material master data. In material master data MM02 or if I go to MM01, there is a division field in basic data 1 tab. Okay, if I activate the checkbox, automatically always it will take the division from material master data only. So here in this case, if you activate the checkbox, so this check division is not required. It is not required to check, because so always there will be material master data. So there will be, if there is a division, that will be copied from there itself. Right? Then read info record. So what is customer material information record, which I already discussed. Okay, because of this setting only, system is reading the customer material information record. Okay, I just removed this, and I got a client requirement, a business requirement, that I don't want to have the customer material information record functionality. So I just wanted to deactivate that. So what you can do is you can deactivate this. If I don't activate the checkbox, that means system will not determine the customer material information automatically. Let me show you that. I'm creating the order. I'll create the order. Enter the customer number. Enter the material. So enter the quantity. Here I'm entering the customer material number .scv. So before it was determining the original material. So in this case, I deactivated the setting, right? Read customer material information record, that setting. System will not determine the original material name here. Though we have a condition records which are maintained in master data for the BOM. Okay, so but still it will not determine because we have deactivated the setting. So custom read info record. If I deactivate this checkbox, that means system will not read the customer material information record. It will be blank here itself. Before it was determining the original name, right? So it is not coming because I deactivated the checkbox. Okay, so next check PO number. Okay, let's see here. It is coming as a blank. Before it was coming, right? So because of I deactivated the checkbox. So system is not reading the customer material information record also. Okay, so don't change any settings here. I'm just changing and keeping it back again, just to show you or just to make you understand what is the importance of each and every field. Right. So next one is check PO number. So whenever you create the order, right? So I'm entering PO number. It can be any unit number. It can be or any number we can enter. Okay. So by using this field, okay, this control field, we can control PO number in the sales order. Right? So we'll see how it controls. See here, check whether the purchase order number is already existing or not. Okay, let me save this setting. I'm checking whether this purchase order number is already existing in the sales order or not. Okay, so now, so we have the, like, we have the test order created already, right? So let's say how the order is created with the purchase order number test order. We already created, so but still I'm creating one more purchase order. Let me save the order. It's taking time. So just to give background of purchase order, check purchase order number is, let's say we have created the order, we are getting the order with the test order purchase order number. Okay, if I create another order, the same PO number, system will show you warning message saying that, so this purchase order number is already used in so and so order. Okay, so then like still you want to proceed like that, like you will get the warning message. Okay, just to give the alert to the customer saying that we already created the sales order, the same purchase order number. Still, if you want to create it, if I press S, then system will save the order. Though we have the different purchase order numbers, I'm just saving the purchase order number here with the test underscore order. Let me create another order. Then system will show you warning message saying that this purchase order is already existing. Okay, so let it create. So I'll show you. Enter PO number. Enter PO purchase order number. So whenever I create the order, we have the purchase order number. Okay, if you don't enter, what will happen? Okay, system will show you error message normally. Okay, so just to make the PO date is mandatory, we have the setting. Okay, so PO number, right? So not a PO date. PO number. That means sometimes what I'll do is without entering the PO number, I'll make it a blank. Okay, so that will be control. Enter PO number. That means you need to enter the PO number at any cost. Without entering the PO number, system should not allow us to save the order. Right? It's taking still time. Okay, so let me check the other settings also. So PO number I'll show you. So PO number, enter PO number. That means you should not leave it a blank. Okay, so then create limit, create group. Okay, so create limit, create group. Those two fields will be discussed in create management. There is a separate topic again for that. Okay, so order has been saved, I think. Order has been saved. Now let me create the order with the same PO number. Then system will show you warning message. So I'll try to enter the customer number. I'm just trying to create another order, the same PO number, and I just wanted to. I'm expecting the warning message in this case. Try to create the order, same PO number. So I'm expecting one warning message saying that, so there is already one order existing with the PO number. So the system will show you that order number also, previous order number also, whatever the like wherever we have created the purchase order number as a test order. See here, purchase number in a document number is already existing, the same PO number. Okay, so we'll get the warning message. We can convert warning message into like error message also, so that we'll see later. Okay, so we we understood about the check PO number, enter PO number. That means PO number is mandatory. Without entering the PO number, system should not allow us to system should not allow us to save the order. PO number, making the PO number as a mandatory entry. Create limit, create group. So these two will be discussing credit management. There is a very big topic and a very important topic that will be discussing under the different concept. Output application, again, so output determination. So when I say output determination, whenever we create the order or whenever we create the delivery, whenever we create the billing document, so this some business documents need to be sent to the client. Okay, so whenever the end customer has created the order, immediately so he'll send a confirmation, order confirmation. So how whenever I place the order in Amazon, I'll get the order confirmation. Okay, so the moment once it is delivered, then out for delivery, they'll get the notification that delivery process has been started. Right. So I want to send some documents to the customer electronically or manually or print out whatever EDA, whatever. Right. So that will be control from output application field here. That means whatever the document you wanted to send, we want to send through output determination. Okay, we want to send it through output determination. Right. So that output determination we'll discuss later. So invoice copy, how to print the invoice copies, how to print the shipment notices, how to print the order confirmations. Okay, so that will be discussed in output determination. Okay, so these fields are not very important here. We don't require. So only important, very, very important field is document pricing procedure is CA by default. Okay, so document pricing procedure is a place or this is a field which will be used for the pricing procedure determination. Okay, if you want to determine the pricing procedure, this is one of the parameter. One parameter is there in the customer master. This is another parameter what we have in the sales document settings. By default, the value is A. Okay, this is only one field which is very important in this section. Okay, so we don't discuss about the schedule agreements. We don't require as of now. And shipment. Okay, shipment delivery document type is LF, as we already know that. Okay, so which will be used whenever create the delivery, right? So this billing delivery document type will be considered for the delivery document. Okay, immediate delivery. There are some cases where we'll be creating the deliveries immediately after the moment, once you save the sales order. Okay, how this immediate delivery happen? So we'll discuss during the cash sales process and rush order process. So delivery block, if you want to block the delivery at the header level, then we'll use this field. Okay, I don't want to create the delivery by anybody. So in this case, what we can do is you can keep the block here. So that means entire delivery will get blocked. Shipping conditions, we already know that shipping conditions will be used for the shipping point determination, right? So immediate delivery will be used to make the delivery immediately. Okay, so we'll be discussing about the separate topic for the immediate delivery. Okay, shipping conditions, shipping point determination, delivery related billing, order related billing. So delivery related billing in the sense, if you are getting the billing document with reference to delivery, then we'll consider this. If you are getting the billing document with reference to order, then we can use this. Okay, intercompany billing document type is IV, which we'll be discussing later. And billing block. Okay, so if you want to block the billing, okay, so then we'll use the billing block here. It will block the billing, entire billing document because of this setting.
Sudhakar?
Yeah.
I think that order related billing tab should be F5, right?
F5, that is a pro forma invoice.
Oh, sorry, not F1, F1.
F1, actually, yeah, so it should be
You're
F1
using both same?
Yeah, so but in standard SAP, not sure, like they'll keep F2, but usually it is F1 that is true. Yeah, that is correct.
Oh, but here you are using, you will change it, right, later?
Yeah, we can change it, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, so by default, someone might have changed it, but Sometimes, in standard itself, it will come in the same way. I can change it, but usually we use F1.
I have one doubt here. Earlier you said because of the customer's credit limit is not good. So that's the reason you are blocking the sales order. But it is generic to all customers, right? Not specific to any customer, right?
So actually
So
we
how
have
can we block for all the
yeah, so
customers?
we'll have separate master data for the credit management, right? So in that case, we'll define that one.
No, I'm talking about sales document block.
So I mean, so basically, the concept what we are discussing here is like before. Why do you want to block the sales order? So there will be credit customers block is, so then we can block the sales order. But here, if I block here, so that not for the credit exceeded. Sometimes they don't want to use the sales document type OR. They want to use the different document type, like so instead of OR they want to use GOR, ZOR. They've created their own document. So they wanted to absolute this OR. In this case, what they will do is they'll keep the block here. So that like
Okay. So that is later on when they think that this document type is not required, then only they will make it. Correct?
they'll block it. Exactly. Yeah.
Otherwise, with that intention, they don't create the order type. Right?
Exactly. That's true.
Okay.
Right. Clear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. So here, so we have billing block. If you want to block the billing, there are some cases where we want to block the billing. So then we can keep the block here. So that means system will not allow us to create the billing block. Right. So this payment card types and all we don't require as of now. So this is integration point between other things. And coming to the lead time in days, like, so one day, like, if you want to make the delivery, how many days it will take, like, what is the lead time to make the delivery for the sales documents? Like, we can use this. And proposed delivery date, if I activate the checkbox proposed delivery date, that means system will propose the today's date as a proposed delivery date by default. Okay, we can change it manually, but by default system will propose the today's date as a delivery date. So this is one field which we need to require, which we need to understand in this section. Remaining all, like, as of now we don't require. So just concentrate whatever the fields we have discussed today, right? Like, so first section, like document category, indicator, sales document block. So number ranges, internal number range, external number ranges, item number increment, sub item number increment, reference mandatory, check division, item division, read info record. Okay, check purchase order number, enter payment number, credit limits, output determination. So to send the business documents to the client end customers, right? So sometimes, whenever you place the order in Amazon, so we'll get the mail immediately, right? So that is that is a business communication which they are making to you, right? So like this, like whatever the fields which are discussed here, delivery document types, billing block, delivery blocks, immediate delivery will be discussing in further topics also. Okay, just go through with these settings. Next session we'll see the item category settings also. Like, so we discussed about the sales document type settings. Now we'll discuss about the next session item category settings. That means, so the settings which controls the item data in the sales order. The same way, schedule lines, so which controls the delivery dates and delivery quantity and confirm quantity. So that will be discussed in next sessions. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask me now. So I'm done for this today's class. Like, if you have any questions, you can ask me.
It's a very important topic today, Sudhakar. I think
this is
few people attended,
actually till end of the course we'll be discussing any one of these fields. Like, it's very important for us. So we need to understand that concepts, really, like, so why we use sales document type settings, right? So we're under, like, we'll be based on this, we'll be discussing about the different scenarios, right? Any questions? Fine then.
Thank you, Sudhakar.
Okay then. So thank you so much. Yeah. So
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you. So we'll catch up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye bye.
Good night.